The crowd gathered fast when the luxury car stopped in the middle of the street. It had popped open like a broken promise, steam rising as if the city itself was sighing. People whispered. Phones came out. And then the millionaire laughed, loud, careless, certain that no one here could help him. That's when a small voice said, "I can fix this." Everyone turned. No one believed it. And yet, what happened next would change far more than a broken car. Before the story begins, take a moment to support Kindness Lights. If stories of real human kindness move you, please subscribe, like this video, and share your thoughts in the comments. Your support helps these stories reach more hearts, and reminds the world that kindness still matters. The millionaire's name was Daniel Hart. He was used to control, over meetings, markets, and moments. That afternoon, he stood in a tailored suit on a busy city street, surrounded by colleagues who laughed along with him, trying to hide their own discomfort. The car was expensive. The schedule was tight. The patience was thin. Then there was the boy. He couldn't have been more than 12. His clothes were worn, his shoes scuffed thin at the toes. Grease marked his hands and cheeks, like the city had claimed him early. He stood on a small wooden stool beside the open hood, eyes focused, calm in a way that didn't match his age. "I can fix this," the boy repeated, softer this time. Daniel laughed again, shaking his head. "Kid," he said, not unkindly but not kindly either, "this car costs more than you'll make in a lifetime." The boy didn't flinch. He just nodded. "I know," he said. "But I can still fix it." One of Daniel's colleagues leaned in and whispered something. Another smiled, amused. The street buzzed with judgment. Some felt sorry for the boy. Others waited for the moment he'd be chased away. Daniel waved a hand. "All right," he said, grinning. "Go ahead. Show us." The boy climbed onto the stool and leaned over the engine. He didn't rush. He listened first, really listened, tilting his head as if the car were speaking to him. He closed his eyes, then opened them, scanning the parts like old friends. Daniel checked his watch. "We don't have all day. I won't take long," the boy said. He reached in with careful hands, tightening one thing, loosening another. He asked for nothing, no tools, no money, no attention. Just a few minutes and a chance. People fell quiet. Even Daniel stopped talking. The boy wiped his hands on his shirt and nodded to himself. "Try it now." Daniel raised an eyebrow. "You're serious?" The boy stepped back. "Yes, sir." Daniel turned the key. The engine coughed once. Then it purred, smooth, steady, alive. The steam faded. The car was fine. Silence spread across the street like a held breath. Daniel stared at the dashboard. Then at the boy. Then at his colleagues, who suddenly had nothing to say. He stepped out slowly, his smile gone, replaced by something heavier, surprise, maybe shame. "How did you do that?" Daniel asked. The boy shrugged. "I listen," he said. "Most people don't." Daniel laughed again, but this time it was different. Softer. Real. "What's your name?" "Eli." Daniel reached into his pocket and pulled out his wallet. He took out several bills and held them out. "Here," he said. "You earned this." Eli didn't take it. The street murmured. Daniel frowned. "What's wrong?" Eli looked up, meeting his eyes. "I didn't do it for money." Daniel paused. "Then why?" Eli glanced at the car, then back at Daniel. "My mom's sick," he said. "I help where I can. Fixing things is what I know. If someone needs help and I can help, I do." Daniel lowered his hand. Something shifted inside him. He had built a life on winning, on taking advantage of every edge. Kindness, to him, had always been a strategy, not a choice. But this was different. "Where did you learn?" Daniel asked. "My dad," Eli said. Before he passed. He said machines are like people. They tell you what they need if you're quiet enough to hear it. Daniel swallowed. He put the money away. "Come with me," he said. Eli hesitated. The crowd tensed. "Just for a minute," Daniel added quickly. "Please." They walked to a nearby cafe. Daniel ordered food, real food, and waited while Eli ate, careful not to stare. They talked. Eli spoke about school, about fixing bikes for neighbors, about listening to engines because they didn't judge him. Daniel listened. Afterward, Daniel made a call. Then another. "Eli," he said, "how would you like to learn more about fixing cars? Properly. With tools. With teachers." Eli's eyes widened. "I can't pay." Daniel smiled. "I can." Weeks passed. then months. Eli started training at a local auto shop Daniel supported. He went back to school. His mom got medical help. The neighborhood noticed. People talked, not about the millionaire, but about the boy who helped without asking. And Daniel changed too. He stopped laughing when people offered help. He listened more. He funded programs that taught skills, not just gave handouts. When asked why, he told the story, not of his car, but of his pride breaking down and being repaired by a boy who chose kindness over reward. One afternoon, Daniel visited the shop. Eli was working on an old engine, grease on his hands, focus in his eyes. He looked up and smiled. Need help? Eli asked. Daniel laughed. Always. They stood side by side, listening to the engine together. Sometimes kindness doesn't shout. Sometimes it speaks quietly from a wooden stool on a crowded street. And when we choose to listen, really listen, it can fix far more than what's broken on the surface. If this story moved you, let it move your actions too. Be kind when it's easy. Be kind when it's not. You never know whose life and whose heart you might help repair. The crowd gathered fast when the luxury car stopped in the middle of the street. Its hood popped open like a broken promise, steam rising as if the city itself was sighing. People whispered. Phones came out. And then the millionaire laughed, loud, careless, certain that no one here could help him. That's when a small voice said, "I can fix this." Everyone turned. No one believed it. And yet, what happened next would change far more than a broken car. Before the story begins, take a moment to support Kindness Lights. If stories of real human kindness